Oh, hi. So I just wanted to talk a little bit. When I discovered season one shortly before it was released and was obsessed with every single episode, it was my sole reason for having HBO Max, which now there's plenty of reasons, but that really was the kicker for me, and I'm still to this day shocked that it's not as popular as it should be. I mean, Yellow Jackets became more popular quicker, and here we are going into season two, and people still like, what's that? I don't know. Oh, I don't have HBO Max. HBO Max is better than Netflix ever will be, and it's the same price. So anybody who says they don't have HBO Max, but they have Netflix, shame on you. That's what's wrong with you. Get rid of your Netflix. Netflix is crap. Get it at once. All you need Netflix 1 month a year, if you ask me. 1 month a year. Watch the shows. Watch your Ozarks. Sure, this is my month. I watch an Ozark. I watched Kyle Mooney's Saturday Morning All-Stars. Fantastic. That's worth my $15. Now we're good. I watched those good shows. Moving on. You don't need Netflix all year. HBO Max, however, plenty of reasons to have all year. Especially in 2021, because, you know, the Adult Swim. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. My point being, I watched season one of Raised by Wolves, and I did a review of each episode. And then Warner Brothers deleted my channel. But even before that, before it was deleted, I never did a review for episode 10 because after watching episode 10, I was this. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to feel. Like at the end of episode 9, I was from the beginning of episode 1 to the end of episode 9. My whole thing I was preaching was, this is the best show ever. Best show ever, best show ever, best show ever, best show ever. It's perfect, it's amazing, it's blowing my mind, I love everything about it. And then episode 10, I was like, I wasn't sure if I liked it at first, but I think I was just in shock. And of course it all stemmed from, spoiler alert, the snake baby. And I was like, what? However, in retrospect, having plenty of time, having seen the full season again, having just watched it again to prep for season 2, just watched episode 10 again, and I appreciate it more. And it reminds me of, like, say you look back on Lost. Season 1 is nothing. It's crap. It has nothing to do. Who cares about that? Considering everything that happens between seasons 2 and 6, you know what I mean? I feel like that's how Raised by Wolves is going to be. By the time we get to season 4, God willing, soul willing, that we'll look back on season 1 and be like, that was just like the setup, the stepping stones, the introduction to the characters. That was nothing. But speaking of these things, the clues they're giving us with the little cards, the whole mother having the visions, and now of course we have Marcus tripping out. And he's all about Saul now with his crazy visions. But is that Saul? Is it something else? So here's my theories going into after having seen season 1. But kind of disassociating myself from the trailers and advertisements that we've been getting ramped up into season 2, which premieres next week. Obviously, some of the things I'm thinking of might be wrong or a little bit different from what we've seen, but who knows? You never know how they edit promotions, exactly where it's coming from, what we're getting. Anywho, so Marcus now just ran into the Atheists who showed up, and he's a believer. So this is an interesting thing that I'm looking to explore in season 2. I think that now, I mean, I don't know if he's, yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to pretend to be an atheist again, now that he's a believer. Maybe he might turn back into an atheist once he stops tripping on whatever the heck's going on. So clearly they're giving us some answers with Mother's vision and the tropical zone and the snake creature, because that's obviously what the bones we've been seeing is. Those things end up being, they grow very fast and they get very large and they can fly. I mean, what is scarier than a flying snake? Answer, a spider with wings. But those would be the two most terrifying things you could possibly dream up. Flying snake, flying spider, no thank you. We would all lock ourselves in dungeons. So I think they're kind of giving us clues on how the planet used to have a lot more than it does now. But I'm predicting like a warped time kind of thing. Like my original prediction, and obviously it's the trailers I think that might be telling me I'm wrong, but who knows. But when Mother and Father went through the core and came out the tropical zone, I got the impression that they went to the past, that they went through the core and it, warped space-time, whatever have you, and when they're in the tropical zone, they're just on the planet, but way back then. In fact, that could still be the case. They are robots. And then maybe hundreds or thousands of years pass for them, and then they meet up with the kids again, and the kids are like, oh, hey, what's up? We've been looking for you. And they're like, oh, we've been here for 2,000 years. That'd be cool. But I say this because she has the vision where clearly these people, beings, whatever, is devolving. Obviously, there was more of them. There's not very much of them now, but they used to be a larger society before they devolved, I guess. And they did this ritual, which looks like they used androids. They used androids to birth their snake things that probably were like their gods or something. And I had the impression that when she finds the head from her vision and goes, whoa, it's an android, that's her head. I predict that Mother is holding Mother's head. And they end up going into the past. And then the stuff that we saw wasn't just visions, but memories. Maybe they're the ones who make the cards, and the cards are how the droids can access the memories, because they go back, and they're the cause of all these things. Why else would the drawings on the cave walls be stuff that just happened? Or hasn't happened yet? It'd have to be them drawing it back then, talking about what happened to them before they went to the past, and then in the future they find the drawings that they made in the past of the future that's now the present. Makes sense, right? Help! I'm burning. Excuse me. My arm is on fire. That'll always be one of my favorite parts of anything. So the direction it's headed with the kids being separated, Paul just took off after shooting his mom and freaking out. Marcus is tripping, just ran into the Atheists, and he's like, you're not welcome here. I praise the soul. You darn Atheists. So that'll be interesting. So we just have a new arc with well, not arc, but a new ship full of people, albeit atheists, where we're going to have a whole bunch of new characters now. But Mother and Father being in the tropical zone on the other side of the planet, Paul warning them we can't go to the tropical zone. I think the snake has a lot to do with it. So the snake, I think, can only survive in the tropical zone, which is why Paul was saying we can't go to the tropical zone, because the tropical zone is where the snakes thrive. And when they go to the desert zone or whatever, the inhabitable, I don't know, that's when they can't survive and they turn into bones and whatnot. Then we get so you get the big cliffhanger of everything. Mother and Father are down there, but they're alive. But so is the snake, and it's huge, and it can fly. And then the kids are over there, and the Atheists just showed up. Marcus is tripping. But I think we're going to get answers of who this cult is, and I think it's going to come down to this planet is the source of the religious beliefs on Earth. That the religion of soul and all those beliefs came from this planet somehow, some way, originally, maybe more time travel. At the end of the series, they go back to the beginning of Earth, and that's how this religion is born. And on top of that, the whole atheist thing, the fact that the atheists use the necromancers, and the necromancers are these robots that kill. Well, no, the atheists reprogrammed it. That's right. Because the human religious soul believers made the necromancers to wipe out the atheists, and then one was turned into one working for the Atheists. But the point being, they say in the lore, if you research or have the comic or whatnot, that technology of how the necromancers work did not come from Earth. It came from somewhere else. It's not man-made technology. It's not something we came up with. We received this information from another source, perhaps another worldly source, perhaps of another time, meaning everything that we just took from Earth after destroying it and brought to Kepler 22b originated from Kepler 22b. And we're just going to have a crazy mismatch of infinite loops. Like the time travel thing. Right? Yeah. I'm excited for the premiere next week. I think season 2 looks as phenomenal as season 1. I don't care how fast the kids are growing. And I hope they never, ever, ever get rid of that amazing theme song that I love. And the soundtrack for the whole show is amazing. I'm so excited to delve into season 2 after all the questions we were left in season 1. And I have nothing but faith in the creator, who did say he's got a plan for like 3 or 4 seasons and he knows where it's going. You know, I see the potential here, assuming HBO never cancels it. Please, HBO Max, never cancel Raised by Wolves. Give him 4 seasons. Let him tell the story. And I promise I'll get more people to watch. Yeah? Because we're all going to watch Raised by Wolves. Here we go. Let's watch season 1 real quick again to get ready for season 2. And then every Thursday, 1 a.m. new episode. I hope it's 10 again. I'm assuming it's going to be 10 again. They better not skip any. Or maybe they're going to drop multiple episodes right off the bat like they did in season 1. Didn't they do that for the end too? They did like 3 and then 2 and then 1 and then 1 and then 1 and then in the last one they did 2. I'm just getting too excited. The door that finally opens with life spilling in back onto the floor. The cold as Baron was it? Okie dokie.